everyone, it's Little Blue and you're listening to my podcast, aka Little Blue, on the first Monday of the year. And it seems from social media, a lot of you going back to work today, or the kids going back to school. So hope that first Monday blues is treating you all right. For us personally, baby Blue doesn't go back to preschool till Wednesday, so we've got another couple of days. And also my boss has told me he doesn't have much work for me right now, so we are still in that post-Christmas, New Year's limbo at the moment, and I'm trying to find ways to pick myself up. But it's a bit of a mixed bag for people, because I know other people who just love school holiday and they didn't want it to end. But Baby Blue and I, we work better on routine, so I'm really looking forward to sort of getting back into the swing of things and having that free time to be able to organise myself, because that is what I really need right now. I think I'm going to have to get a second job just so I've got something a bit more stable and a bit more concrete coming in, because I can't have this stress. And one of my main focuses for 2020 is to be more financially stable and secure. So I've started doing a few things which I would like to suggest to anybody looking to do the same thing. Basically, there are survey sites that you can join online. It doesn't happen overnight, so don't expect you can do a ton of surveys and then get money for it the next day. It doesn't happen that way. It does take a while to build up your points, but when you get into the swing of it, you can start earning quite a bit monthly if you sort of keep on top of it. So the one that I've always used is a site called Taluna, and they are a global company, and basically they have online communities. So there's a UK community, and people just post just questions or little opinion polls or just stuff for yourself. So if I have something that comes to my head, like let's say, who's got the Monday blues today? That could be one. And then people will comment on it. And if it's a good topic that a lot of people comment on, you earn some points for it, and then your points build up, and then you can get vouchers or PayPal rewards or stuff like that. So yeah, it's a great little site, and there are a few of them around. But Taluna it's a Marmite site. You either love it or you hate it. I love it because I love the community side of it. I have got a little bit lax and behind of using it and doing the surveys, but I'm going to get back into the swing of things, I think, today. And I also reinstalled an app on my phone called Shoppix. It's SHOPPIX. And what you do is, when you go shopping, make sure you get a receipt, and then you take a photo of that receipt, and it sends it off to this market research company, and you earn points for those receipts. And over time, those points then can become PayPal, Amazon, or I think it's iTunes vouchers. So yeah, I think because I've reinstalled it and I had it before, it's kept all my points from about 2 years ago, which is amazing. So I'm actually quite close to getting a reward already, and I've only sort of I went round the flat finding all the receipts I could. So I recommend doing those ones, because if you get them, sort of just upload your receipts at the end of each day, forget about it, and don't clock your rewards constantly, after time, all of a sudden you'll have enough points to get these rewards, and it'll be really, really good, rewarding in a way. My God, I can't believe I just said that. But there's several. There's one called Hog something. Can't think what it's called. There's loads of different ones. So check out and work out which one works for you. I personally prefer Shoppix. My tiny little brain can comprehend that one a bit better than some of the others. And also they have online surveys, and this one, I think it has a scratch card thing where you can win and things like that. So the same with Taluna, they have games as well. They do games, you do surveys, you have this lovely community, which I really, really love. And there was one I used to do called Valued Opinions as well, which was fantastic when I was doing it, getting into the swing of it. I was getting about £20 a month in Sainsbury's vouchers. But I started having some technical issues, and I just ran out of time being able to do it. Basically, I became a mum, and it just sort of went out the window a bit. But it was a shame, because it was real lifesaver at times just to have that extra £10-20 a month coming through the door. So I think I'm going to see if I can re-sign up with that, especially if I've still got points on there. That would be wonderful. And I might look up some other new ones that I haven't used before. But it is a great little way. It's not megabucks. It is about a tenner a month or 20 quid a month. But if you do keep on top of it, it is a great one. I used to be in a job where it was a case of sitting waiting for the phone to ring, and so you were allowed to sit on on the internet. I used to sit and read articles. I used to write. That's why I started my blog, actually, to sort of pass the time while I was at work. And it didn't matter. I'm quite a proactive person, so I used to try and find work to do. So I wasn't just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. But there were some days, especially over Christmas, where there just was nothing. So that's what you ended up doing. And I started doing these surveys, and it was great. It passed the time and earned me money on top of earning money, if that makes sense. But yeah, don't worry, the bosses were all okay with it. I do not recommend you doing that at work if your bosses would not be okay with it. Maybe in your lunch break. Do it in your lunch break. That's a good plan. But yeah, they're a great little extra cash earner. And there are other ones as well that a lot of my friends do, that it links it to your spending habits. So they want to know about your spending habits, so you get money back from your purchases. I don't know about them, but yeah. And my friend did one as well, which I still don't know what it's called. And it was one way, if you upload videos, like funny videos, like You've Been Framed type things, to your own little YouTube page, you could earn money from it. And she earned quite a lot of money from one of her son's videos. So it wasn't YouTube, it was a different thing similar to YouTube. I'm going to look into some of those sort of things, because Baby Blue's a hoot, basically. And yeah, I just need to find a way to earn a little bit extra money. I've been very lucky, actually. A friend of mine has asked if I would do some babysitting for her. So I'm going to be doing a regular babysitting twice a week, and it's only for 3 hours each time, but that's 6 hours a week, which is going to be fantastic for me. It's going to be such a lifesaver, and I'm going to make sure I put some of it aside. This is my plan is, with all the surveys and stuff, when I earn those points, that money is going to be put into my emergency fund, which I think I mentioned before. Basically, I want to have a backup plan fund. So if things do get tight at any point, I have a tenner to put on the electricity meter. I have a tenner to buy food. I have just money that I can dip into. And that is really important, that I have that security, because my whole life, I've always had savings that I can dip into. And I've found myself in the last sort of year or so in a position where that savings has just been used, because it's had to be used. I did have quite a bit of money when I first moved here, because I was so lucky to have the most amazing friends who donated to a GoFundMe page for me. But obviously it went on what it was needed for, so I had to buy things like toasters and microwaves, and I was very helped out by charities and stuff, and a lot of it was secondhand, but some of it did cost money. And I needed to top up the electricity meter, I needed food, I needed like a bin. I literally had a shell of a house with no furniture in, and I had to get it all on my own. So yeah, I feel like I'm having to defend myself. I don't need to do that, do I? I've got to stop. I'm having a bit of a moment this morning, and it's kind of why I wanted to do my podcast in the morning, not do it this evening, because in the evening I'm a lot more relaxed and I feel a little bit more accomplished, whereas right now I am in the midst of the Monday blues, and I thought it might be a good podcast to see. Nobody is infallible. I'm not always positive. I'm not always, okay, yeah, life's shit, but I'm going to do this. That's how I try to be. I have to work to do that. And right now I am feeling quite blah, for want of a better word, or want of any word. I got woken up at 6:30 this morning with Baby Blue telling me all her dreams. She'd had good dreams last night. However, she had crawled back into my bed. I hadn't even noticed. So I got woken up and kicked and pushed out of bed. And so the first part of my day was having a stern talk with her about not being mean to mummy first thing in the morning to get her to get out of bed, because that's not fair. So there's that start to the day, and then there's also the fact that although I felt better yesterday, today I'm feeling rubbish again, which doesn't help matters. And then just sort of thing after thing after thing. I didn't charge my phone, so I'm annoyed at myself for not doing that. And Baby Blue's being a little bit of a monster. She's tipped like little beads out. She was making bracelets the other day and she's broken one of the bracelets and the beads are everywhere and she's refusing to pick them up and they're right in the doorway. So I've now got a ton of cleaning to do. I've got washing up to do. And you know, when it just all piles on top of you, it's just life, isn't it? And that's the thing. So now it's a case of I've got to have a good talk with myself and make some lists and say, right, this is the issue, what's the solution? And this is what I'm teaching Baby Blue at the moment. It's like, okay, you've spilled egg on your leg. Sorry, she's eating dippy egg at the moment. That's why I've said that. You spilled egg on your leg. That's the problem. What's the solution to it? I get a cloth and wipe it off. There we go. And that's what I'm talking to. And that's a very simplified version of it. But you know what I mean? I mean, I've got this problem. I need to have more stability. So I'm going to look for ways to get that. Okay, I've got a little bit of an example now. What have you just done? So what's this?
I ate my breakfast.
You've eaten your breakfast, so you've got a dirty plate. Yeah. So that's a bit of a problem because you don't want it in front of you, do you? So where do we need to put this plate?
In a sink.
In the sink in the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need help doing that?
Yes.
So how do you get help?
You ask somebody.
You ask somebody. Okay, would you like some help taking this to the kitchen?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. There's the problem and the solution. I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, a simple little lesson about life. But she had a problem. She didn't want her plate in front of her. She had to take it to the kitchen. Easy peasy. I don't like her piling up in the sink, but sometimes it's easier to get her to put things in the sink than to find a space to put it on, because then she starts fiddling with stuff. Anyway, so if you are feeling the Monday blues, if you're feeling the going back to work blues, or if you're feeling that your finances have taken a real hit after the Christmas period, then it's a case of literally sitting down with a notepad, with your phone, with your laptop, however you want to record it, and just think, right, this is my problem. Let's list a couple of solutions. And it's just a case of trial and error. Try things out. If they don't work, they don't work. If they do, it's fantastic. For me, I'm definitely going to start doing more surveys in the mornings and the evenings. And I'm also going to look for a second job because I need that sort of go to work feeling again. I'm going to ask at places like Costa. It's another thing. When I look for a job, I always try and think of the added things for me. So if I don't know, if I like going on holidays, for example, I might think about going to a travel company because I'm interested in the products then, and I will definitely be using the services that provided rather than just going for any old job that I might not even use. I know someone that doesn't drink and went to work in a wine distillery. It's like, oh, because I considered that. We've got a vineyard nearby and I thought I'd go and apply for a job there, but I was like, I don't actually drink wine, so I probably wouldn't be the best place for me to work. But yeah, it's that sort of thing. So obviously I love Costa. I do a lot of business meetings in Costa and I do a lot of my other job work in Costa. So to work in Costa and be able to get a small discount would be fantastic. But also like places like Waitrose I'm going to apply to. I've never worked in a supermarket, so it might be quite interesting, but I think a supermarket does a lot of shift work at very antisocial hours, and that's kind of what I need. I can only do certain times because of Baby Blue being at preschool. So if I can work around it, I will. Otherwise, it might be a case of she's going to have to start going to a childminder, which I really don't want to do because we need that time together as much as I need the job. But obviously, priorities. Life isn't that perfect, sadly. Anyway, gonna have to go, but I hope this has been a helpful podcast. I hope you are having a good Monday, and yeah, I really urge you, if you're feeling the Monday blues or those financial struggles, just honestly make yourself a little list, because it can really sort of help your brain just get going again and getting back into the swing of things. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all tomorrow.